Hello and welcome to race 19 for Mexico for the multiplayer championship I'm taking part with on F1 2016 on the PlayStation 4. It's the real TomTom. Thank you very much for joining me for this particular episode. So this was a track that last week we were meant to do, didn't get around to doing, so you'll notice on another video we do it just for a bit of fun. It's a very fast flowing track. Not quite sure what strategy to go with. Stick with what it is, up the fuel a bit, maybe try and get a bit of a pace advantage. Not that I ever have a pace advantage anywhere. But the race starts with only 10 of us, so officially we'll all get at least 1 point. So I start here at the back after qualifying last. Someone jumps the starts completely. I can't remember who it is, but they basically jump the start, so they'll get a drive through. So you know that's looking possible for me to maybe achieve something this particular race. So although I'm at the back, we know we've got to drive through somewhere, and there's always incidents in this sort of championship. So Wixie there goes back a place to 10th. I'm following Bartel through carefully as I can. Because it was a top 10, the annoyance is that, as you can see, my tyre wear is already relatively high. It could have been better if I'd been able to choose. I was wanting to choose maybe the hard tyres, but because there was 10 of us, you ran on the top 10 level tyre. So we saw there a couple of people spin out. Now the bit you didn't see me do is for the qualifying, because I wasn't sure what the weather was going to be like, and it looked like it might rain potentially before it brought up the race weather. I've put a lot of downforce on, so what you can see here is it's really difficult to get around these corners quickly. It's not very fast in a straight line, and the corners for the downforce wouldn't let me flow through them like it has done when I was doing the race last week, and also doing the time trials just in preparation for this week. So take it round. You can see in the minimap, Pops is coming up behind me very quickly, but I'm never going to have him on the straight. So what you see me doing here is I'm trying to set my downforce when I make my pit stops to try and get a little bit less downforce than I'd already chosen, and to see if that will help me out a little bit later. Now Pops apologised, saying he spun me off. While that being true, I probably should have given that place up to him there. It's one of those bits where he had me on the outside line. I gave him the room through the first corner, but then was trying to... so again, same sort of thing here. It's trying to give enough space to sort of come through. Again, not getting knocked off twice. So maybe that incident with Pops was my fault. He did apologise, so that's absolutely fine with me. I think it was a judgment call. Possibly down, if you were to get a real steward's inquiry, maybe a racing incident. Maybe I'd get a drive-through or a 5-second penalty or something. I'm not sure, but please in the comments let me know whether I was overly aggressive or what you think the actual call there would be. So now trying to chase down Eagle. Mexico being the sort of track it is, if you've got the setup like me slightly wrong, you're not going to get any pace on the straights or through the corners. Coming around now to make lap 2. I'm in 9th position. Bartel 3 seconds behind me on the soft tyre. Eagle a second up the road, well just over a second up the road. But my tyre wear now, as you can see, is really ramping up very quickly. The braking zone not as good as I could have made it, and he's able to easily drop me, while Bartel's able to sort of catch me quite quickly as well. However, this is a race that throws up a few mistakes. Things happen, so we will see where I end up. Having to take these corners a lot slower than I was through the time trials when I was using sort of the Mercedes and a custom setup that I downloaded from one of the other races on my friends list. where I was able to take that. I still wasn't touching their time, but I got a solid 1:22. So that best lap I've got so far at the 1:32. I was 10 seconds a lap quicker doing that in time trial. Granted, at the moment there's been a bit going on, but still quicker with a better setup. So I've made obviously a bad choice here, and with rain not coming, I get a 1:26, so 4 seconds slower than my best time trials. I decide at the moment to keep to the standard strategy and try and eke out these super softs for a little bit longer, maybe not be quite so hard on them, and see what happens. So I've dropped down to last place, but again that's still 10th, giving me 1 point in the championship. I'm not going to win this championship, so any points I get are a bit of a bonus for the team. But obviously with the multiplayer being what it is, and although we do this every Thursday regularly, you'll see the drop off from the first video I made where the grid was nearly full to now where like my teammate isn't on the grid this week, and plenty of other people have missed out. Now, if you're watching this later on, the time of year it was released around Easter, so people are away on their holidays. It could explain a few people not being around, but still it's obviously later into the season. People are dropping out because of other things, or because they haven't done as well as they thought they would. They kind of just quit and give up, whereas I know I'm last. I'm doing this just for the fun of it and having fun doing it. So I get a warning there for exceeding track limits. Just a very bad line essentially. Now Metro, who's won many of these races, is currently behind me in 9th, so I've made it up to 8th place, and I'm about to take a few more people who have already come in a little bit early for the pits. So they've done what their sort of strategy change would have called for us going in on lap 4. I decided to stay out, so it puts me up to 6th place, Bartel up into 5th, and Wixie there down in 7th. So I've got about another lap I need to get out of these tyres. So again, taking it as easy as I can. Trying not to brake too hard. Trying to take the corners reasonably slowly. Not put too much wear into them. But just keep going. And again, I know I'm going to get these places taken back from me when the eventual pit stop happens. You'll notice there that someone dropped out. I think they basically ran into the wall or span out themselves. So again, that'll put me up into sort of 9th place or so. There you go. It's been overtaken by the AI, but so now I can see I've got a Wixie still behind me on the soft tyres. Again, I'm a bit slow through these corners. The way I come through here, I'm going a little defensive, middle of the track. We knock each other, and I lose my wheel. Now, Wixie did contact me afterwards. We had a little chat about it. He thought I was trying to get into the pits. I fessed up and said, no, I was trying to be defensive through the corner. I would have given him the space on the straights, but the way it was we crashed out. Now, he didn't actually crash out till a couple of laps later under his own steam, so it wasn't my fault he crashed out, I don't believe. But obviously that ended my race very, very abruptly before being able to try a new set of tyres, and it possibly affected him a little bit for whatever reason. So that was my race over. That was Mexico in 5 laps. I guess that's racing for you. I believe I'll get at least 1 or 2 points because of starting the race at least compared to others. But until next time, until the next race, we're almost at the end of the championship now. Thanks for watching. I am the Real TomTom here on YouTube and on Twitter. Please do keep liking, subscribing, commenting and following me wherever you can find me, except on the streets. Until next time, thanks for watching this particular video.